NASA Control Report 1981-78, ICASC Report number 9549. The Linux Operating System and Introduction. Sahid H. Bokhari, DTC. This is the USRA, operated by the University Space Research Association. The Linux Operating Systems Introduction. Department of Electrical Engineering, University of Electrical and Technology, Lahore. Institution for Computer Application in Science and Engineering, NASA. Lengi Research Center, Hampton, Virginia 23681. Apps rate. Linux is a Unix-like operating system for the Intel 386 Pentium-based IPM PCs and compatibles. The kernel of this operating system was written from scratch by the Linus Torvalds and almost copied by the author. May be freely distributed. A worldwide group of enthusiastic volunteering has collaborated in the developed many apps of Linux on the internet. Linux can run the powerful set compatibles and the programming tools. The GNU Corp of the Free Software Foundation and X-Free86, a port of the X Windows system from MIT. Most capabilities associated with high performance workstations such as networking, share free file system, electronic mail, TEX, LTX, etc. are freely valuable for Linux. It can thus transform cheap IBM PC compatible machines into Unix workstation with considerable capabilities. The author explained how Linux may be obtained, installed, and networked. He, he also described some international applications for Linux that are freely available. One useful features of Linux is it is ability to consent with others operating system. Thus, a user who has made a investment in the DOS, MSW Windows software may continue running this application on his machine and install Linux as a separate partitions on his existing hard disk. If need file from DOS, MS Windows partitions can be accessed by the Linux. The enrollers consumer market for the IBM PC compatible machines continually driving down price of CPU chips, memory, hard disk, CD-ROMs, etc. Linux can convert such machines into powerful workstation that can be used for technique research and software development for professionally who use Unix based workstation at work. Linux permits virtually identical working environment on their personal house machines for cost consumes continuous education institution special in development nation. Linux can create worldwide computing environment from the cheap easy maintain PC closed. Finally, for university students, especially in science and engineering, Linux provide an essential cost free path away from DOS into the world of Unix and NX Windows. Introduction. Linux is the operating system that runs IBM PC computable machines with the Intel 368 IBM equivalent process. It's written by the Linux Trodos, graduate student at the Helsinki University of Technology in Finland. Since it was written from the scratch, it does not contain any proprietary codes. Torvalds holds the copyrights on Linux but permit the source code to be freely distributed by anyone. In addition, Torvalds, an enthusiastic worldwide group of the volunteers, has collaborated to develop this operating system through the internet. Many of the powerful competitors and the utilized development by the Free Software Foundation under the GNU project can run on Linux. The X Windows system from MIT, which is the de facto standard for windowing under Unix, is also available for Linux in an Intel 386 version called X-Free86. Again, because of selfless efforts of the Neuros volunteers, Linux is thus a fully funded operating system that provided all the capabilities normally associated with commercial union Unix systems. It has the excellent complaints of C++, partial modules 2 and 3, Oberon, small talk, etc. Foreign is the supported by a very reliable foreign to C translator editor like Imbake and Y are the available in several version. Password security, field protection, multiple login, virtual memory, and multitasking are fully supported. Networking for the Linux has development to the stage that large network can be set up to support remote login, remote shell, electronic mail talks, etc. A version of the network file systems NFS has been developed for Linux. This permanently from file system to be shared among several machine, thus reducing hard disk use and minimize system administration overhead. The TEX aleatory text processing system has been ported on the Linux along with pre-valuing facility gross view and drawing package xview idrew. All capacitable described above are available free and without any license fee. Furthermore, Linux runs on the hardware that is common, cheap, and can be purchased anywhere in the world. It thus provide a valuable resources for the Unix performance who can use on his personal home machine or a laptop, a system whose interface is the same as that of the one workstation in his office. For cost conscious educational institution, Linux permit large laboratories of the X Windows system to be set up a low cost hardware. Students can afford the full capabilities of Unix on their personal machines, thus reduce look on their institution systems. Computer science and engineering students can study, modify, and remopulate the kernel of the operating system to source code for which is which is freely available in many of the development world university which is cannot be afforded commercial workstation. Linux may will be only fallible way to introduce Unix and the X window system to large number of students for computer enthusiastic all over the world. Linux provided a low risk, low cost path to the exploration of the world of computing beyond DOS and MS window Windows. Finally, organization that has already invested in networking of proprietary Unix X machines can and Linux-based PCs to augment their systems at very low cost. Linux has been under development for only a few years, as it is to expected. The initial versions were not stable and were of interest only to die-hard hashtags. However, over the period 1994-95, Linux has matured to the point where it can be used for serious routine work. Information about Linux has by and large been restricted to discussing on the internet. There has been little or no covering in the mainstream technical literature. What little has been written has been unnecessarily discovering. Obviously, as the Linux is not a commercial product, no significantly profit is made from its sale. Thus, the few advantagements that one sees are from combines that make a modern income from sale, diskette set or CD-ROMs, and are using is obscure requirements of trade machines, magics. This paper's attempts to remain the station by the describe how Linux can be obtained, installed, and utilized. It is based on my experience with Linux over the past 2 years, as I had to prior example with Unix systems administration, but was unable to install near to those Linux without any serious problem. I feel this is should encourage other the experience with and utilize their share worldwide resources. This is the specifically important in view of the plumbing cost of IPM PC compatibility machines. Such machines are easy to purchase and maintaining. It's almost any corner of the world. In 1995, a machine with the Intel 486 DX266 performance, 14 inches high definitions, a color monitor, video accelerated card, 16 MB RAM, 15 MB hard disk, one flop drive, internet card, and mouse can be purchased for under US $2,000. Such as a machine can use Linux and X with super performance and other. Then it is smaller screen, squares, seriously challenging translation. Traditional workstation by the substation, a slowly processor reduce RAM to 8 MB using a black and white monitor and 320 MB hard disk. A machine capable of running X with the very acceptable performance for teaching performance can be put together for under 1040 US dollar. These are figure no college or university administration can ignore. See, several books on Linux has been published very recently. Wills and the Kufmel and Storo the Yule provided comprehensive detail about obtaining, installing, and running Linux. Scaring deals with the important topics of network administration. In addition, several fine books and manually are the valuable in electronics from on the internet. Obtaining information about Linux as benefit an operating system that was learning developed over the internet. Linux as well a way amount of information about Linux are accessible on the internet. The three main stages are should be below. Shit, shit, seed, seed. For it is the column seed directory. How to us. Our last one is FAQ and books. इसमें subdirectories for first ftb.funet.fi slash by u slash os slash linux how to doc how to flash doc view and books doc slash doc dash project. This is the some project finally can be copy from this sits used to the internet file translation protocols FIB reader with access to the world while the www slides and their mock browser can enjoy hybrid access to the enjoying how to page is addressing subsidizing reading without full internet access. Who can only send receive email will have to encourage to file mail service describing the first documentary a Linux novel no voice should obtain is the installation how to be wells. There are more the those front how to documents dealing with the topics such as a new ethernet printing etc. The next most important for the new corner is the distributed how to which describe how Linux can be obtained by FTB or from commercial vendor. The cost of commercial distribution is non various of the 20 to 60 US dollars, and they are the appropriately of they are attractive alternative to spend hours copying distinct VFTB. If you purchasing commercial distribution CD RO versions should be prefer whenever possession because the medium is more reliable comprising with the flow discussed, and because much more information usually including all the document described in the section including on them. Several unusable news group discuss Linux. The new comes should read compose Linux authorized and compose Linux setup Linux frequently asked questions by the Jackson summarize common inquiries on these new groups. Linux supports a large number of disk controlling, video accessibility card, internet card, monetize, etc. The hardware how to should be consulted before investigate in new hardware to support Linux. A number of books describe various part of Linux has been written. This can also be downloaded FTV from the site's description about the most important in the Linux installment and the get started by the flex. Some commercial distribution of the Linux include the period copy of these books as a part of this package. It is the network is plain the network administration guide by the Create 6 and the Ethernet how to by the Gore makes 5 is our very useful resources. The Linux Journal, it is a monthly magazine and used for the keeping on recent development. This is above the above discussion point out the large amount of information that is the available about Linux. It should not discourage to newcomer. It is quick position to install a fully operation Linux system. Give a CD-ROM on flowing disk set, and it is associated documentation. A connection to the internet through useful is not at the necessary.